Watermelon versus sledgehammer. Your password versus a brute force attack. Your password may be as easy to crack as a watermelon is with a sledgehammer. What you're looking to try to have as a password is a 50-pound dumbbell in your garage that you're trying to with a sledgehammer. It's not going to break it. If you have a watermelon for a password, you need to upgrade to a dumbbell. There's a couple things you can check for. Brute force attack is done by using a sequential series of numbers and letters and special characters and increasing order and complexity to try to figure out what your password is. It doesn't use any type of heuristic knowledge about your social media or any information about you. It's just A, B, ABC, ABCD, 1, 1, 2, 3. Eventually it'll get to it. Eventually. The more letters you have also makes it more difficult. There's a couple passwords here a couple websites you can look at here. One is on intel.com. You can see it up on the screen here. It is how strong is your password, and what you can do is you can put your password in here. So if you want to put something in such as password, it doesn't display what you type in, but I type the word password in. You can look and see, upgrading my password. It'll take about 0 seconds to crack your password. It's very common. Just do password 123567090. Just right across the top. Let's see what that does. It'll take 0018 seconds to crack. Yeah, not very safe. If you want a little more complex one, you want to think of a phrase that you know is a statement that's true about you. You can use any type of some sort of event with a time or a date, because you would like to use numbers. So you can use the word I graduated from high school in 1997, 1998. That was my senior year. So you can, instead of typing the whole phrase out, that's complicated, just use the first letter of every word. So capital I, then G, F, capital H, capital S, lowercase I, then 1997. Then you can hold the shift key down and type 1998 and see what that does. It'll take 27 years. A lot better than, well, instantly. There's some results down here. Some little tips that Intel has is that you can use a spacebar. I didn't use a spacebar. You could use a spacebar. It helps. Use numbers where they're logically able to know, because otherwise you forget it. And then, well, you got to reset your password. And anytime you reset your password, it just makes it more difficult for you to remember what it is. And then use punctuations. Throw in a dot in there, an exclamation point, or anything else you want in there. Happy face, smiley face, all those types of things. And then use multiple passwords. Don't use your bank account for your Facebook account. That's not smart. Another website you can look at here is passwordmeter.com. This one's a little bit fun. I have another example down here on the text message window on the bottom right here, and it says I own a red 1967 F100 4x4. So you can go I own a red 1967. I can use the spacebar F100. Actually, you know what I was going to do? Well, let's do F100 and then space 4 F4, and see how I held the shift key down for the 4 and the 4, so they're dollar signs now. And score is 100%, very strong. And here it actually tells you a little bit more about it. It's a pretty interesting website here. Use your number of characters. I got 16. Now I got 64 points. They gave me a little score. Uppercase, I got 3. Lowercase 3. That's 7 numbers, 2 symbols, 8 middle numbers or symbols, and 5 requirements. So there you can see, and you got some deductions. A couple things here. I got -1 for repeating characters. I think that's because I used the 1 0 0 or the 0 0 in a row. I got a consecutive lowercase. Yeah, happens. But it's still not a bad score. It'll take a hard time to crack. Let's see how long it would take according to Intel. I own a red 1967 F100 space. Alright, grading my password. 27,980 years to crack. That's a long time. That's a very good password. So there you go. There's some hints and tips. What you need to do is you turn your password from a watermelon password into a dumbbell, because dumbbells are harder to crack with a sledgehammer than a watermelon. You can do the math.